Guys, welcome back to another episode of One Step at a Time with your host, Ocean Flight 111, heading straight to full potential with zero delays. If you haven't liked or subscribed, make sure you do to keep the vibes high. Guys, it really means a lot if you like or subscribe or follow. Spotify was telling me that I have less followers in context to my plays than average. So if you could like, follow, subscribe, that would be very meaningful to me, and I would be very thankful. It is 10 o'clock. What time is the morning? I think is this the earliest I've ever done a podcast? It's It's 10:15. Let me throw away that phone. It's 10:15 in the morning, and I'm doing a podcast. Why? Because I did a half marathon. I did a half marathon yesterday. Yes, I did a half marathon yesterday. 13 and a half miles, was it? I think so. Why did I do a half marathon? Because I'm training for a big boy marathon. It was context, background, doing the Latvia marathon May 17th. Martin, why are you doing the Latvia? Usual answer, why not? Never been there. Nothing too mad about that. I know, I can't wait for Latvia. It's going to be very exciting. I've never been to Latvia, and it's one of my trips for the year, so I'm very excited for that. Obviously, my training was a bit slow. I can hear people in the background. Obviously, my training was a bit slow because I had my chest infection and whatnot. 2 chest infections, basically. So I was supposed to do this half marathon probably like 2.5 weeks ago. But I got it in last night. And it went well. It went pretty well, man. It went pretty well. I suppose, I'll go through it. How it felt, where I did it, and how I'm feeling today. What was the crack like? So I was actually gonna do. I had a couple of things like, guys, I won't lie. I set out yesterday on an 8 miler. That was my intention. Set out and do 8 miles. And once I got into the second mile, it wasn't that I was feeling amazing or anything. I was like, wait a second. I could just do an 11 miles. And then once I got into the third mile, I was like, fuck it, why don't I just do the half? Because I'd fueled pretty good. I wouldn't say I'd fueled the last couple of days for a half marathon, but I'd fueled all right. In order to do like 8 miles. I wouldn't say maybe the half marathon. But I was on the third mile and I said, fuck it, I'm going to do the half. So I set out. Set out from the gaff, and I ran from my gaff to just past London Bridge, which is about 6 miles, and then got to London Bridge, and from London Bridge I ran back to Hammersmith, and then Hammersmith and a little bit of Hammersmith, and that made up the 13.5, 13.2, whatever it is. How did it feel? It felt good, man. It felt good. Body was feeling good. So for context, I'm aiming for an under 4 for Latvia. If I don't get under 4, like if I get around 4:10 or something, that'll be grand too. But I want to hit under 4. That would be great. My training lines up, I would say right now, at like maybe a 4:15 rather than a 4 unders to 4. First couple miles of the half marathon yesterday were good. I was at a good pace. I work in miles, first of all, guys. I know what you're thinking, Martin. Why do you work in miles? We've gone through this, guys. I work in miles. Why do I work in miles? Because I grew up watching Top Gear. My old lad used to always talk in miles. And along the way, I decided, fuck it. Why would I bother being like everyone else? Let me just stick to miles. And I like the idea of miles too, because kilometers, I don't know, something about kilometers is just kind of, I don't know. I just don't like kilometers. Sometimes when I'm chatting to the normies, I'll put it into K for them. But underneath my breath, I'm like, nah, bro, fucking miles, man, miles. I remember when I worked in lifestyle back in the day, and I was only starting out running, but I was working in miles, and some guy, I was like, oh, do you run much? And he's like, yeah, I just do about 5K every day. And I'm like, damn, bro, this bro's doing 5K. Wow, I could only work towards that. When little did I know I was doing 5K, but I was just doing 3.5 and whatever miles, which is 5K, just because I was doing the miles. It was a bit silly, but it was funny. So anyhow, started off well yesterday. First couple miles grand, came just up past Hyde Park. First 3 miles grand, was at a good pace. So I was at like 7:30 per mile. I don't know what that is in kilometers. But 7:20, 7:30. Around mile 4, I could feel that pace. Not mile 4, it wasn't that I was a lot of miles, but it's just that I could feel that pace at mile 4. Had my gels with me. I had 2 gels. I had like what's it called? Hyper something. They're caffeine gels or whatever. Had my gels with me. Popped a gel around mile 5. Was definitely starting to feel it. Was also really thirsty, so I had to stop in a Tesco. And bruh, I stopped in a Tesco just outside Big Ben, and I went in that Tesco, and I was like, "Get out of my way!" You know, all the tourists being there. It's the Tesco right across from Big Ben. If you ever been to Big Ben, it's so handy that they have that Tesco, man. I got a Powerade, right? Got a Powerade. It was like 190p, right? Cheeky fucker the other day tried to charge me $2.99 for a Powerade up Notting Hill. I was like, bro, who do you think I am paying $2.99 for it? Do you realize that $2.99 in pounds, right? That's like €4 for a fucking Powerade, bro. What? So I got a Coke instead. But yeah, I ran into Tesco. Got my Powerade. That really helped. I really needed the Powerade. And yeah, so I do listen to tunes on my jogs. This will be the last marathon I do with tunes, I think. Even though I've been saying that to myself, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm telling the truth about that. It might not be, but don't tell anyone. I might continue playing the tunes. Even when I'm doing an Ironman, I might have the tunes with me. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Are you allowed to do an Ironman with earphones? So anyways, I had my earphones in and got to mile then the half marathon. So wow, it was like 6 miles. And up until then, I had a lot of dance songs. I had this great playlist, Ayrton Jones, Dead Love. Bit of like Love the Way You Kiss Me. Bit of Hey Lucas, Euphoria. Great songs. You should highly check them out. You should definitely check them out. I highly recommend them. And I was feeling pretty good because my only worry with doing the long runs is my glutes. That's my only really issue. My lungs are well capable of it. And I found that out yesterday. Even when I did the half marathon, my lungs, I had one or two moments I felt a little out of breath. But for the most part, I wasn't out of breath. Like, my lungs are very well capable at this point. They're very well trained. But my glutes, however, I was worried about my glutes, especially my left glute, because it gets tight, affects my knee, and my legs feel heavy. My left feels heavy. Particularly, it's where I had my patella tendonitis before, in my knee. I would consider that my only real injury ever, apart from the injury I got from London 2022, which was an injury, and I was out for like 6 weeks maybe after that. So I suppose that was an injury too. But I never knew what that was. I think that was just the aftermath of doing a marathon with no training. Don't do it, guys. And if you do it at the healthiest point in your life. Throwback to that, iconic. So yeah, got to mile 6, had the tunes playing, kind of uplifting, in a good mindset. Again, when I'm in them jogs, I think, where's my mind go? It's just very affirming of, yeah, I can do this, but not like regularly. Like, I'll have it like maybe every like 15 minutes, I'll add some like affirmation in there. But for the most part, I'm just focused on the end of the road. So like, I'm just keeping focused and going, okay, I'm at mile 1, just 1 more mile. This is just another mile. And then I'll detach sometimes too. I'll detach completely from the jog, and I'll be just thinking of something else random. And that can be really handy too. That can be really handy, because when you detach completely, you're not even focused on your body, the time, whatever. You just completely go somewhere else. Just a random thought I might have, or something I was thinking of. So that can be helpful too. Obviously too, it's been annoying because, you're down around London Bridge and Big Ben. It's very touristy, like, so you're dipping and dodging. So yeah, I had my Powerade around mile 6. Again, mentally very capable. Very capable. I did have some creeping and doubts. I was like, geez, I don't know if how am I going to feel in the full marathon? I did have some creeping doubts, but again, these are natural, and how you deal with them is just by letting them slide and affirming that you're capable and put in the work. The evidence is there, and that you're built, that I am built for this journey. So got down there, as I said, 6.5 miles, and then my secret weapon comes out at mile 8. Is it mile 8? No, mile 7, my secret weapon comes out. And I'm going to have to push this further in the actual marathon. But anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge 50 fan. And have been since I was a kid. And there's just a connection to his music that just alters something in my biochemistry. That sounds crazy, but I genuinely believe it's like a drug for me. It really is like a drug. You know, the only way I got through the 2022 marathon in London, the one I didn't train for, was just 50. I remember playing one of these songs, the Till I Collapse remix. I think I played it 20 times in a row. Just over and over. It might have even been more. It's only like a minute and a half. I just played it over. I kept going back, play it. And honestly, it's like a drug. It's like a drug, because once I only put on the 50 when I feel like I need it. And around mile 7, I was like, I could do with a push. So that's when I transferred. So yeah, I don't know if other people do this when they're listening to music. I don't know. I've actually not looked into that too much when it comes to music and running marathons. But for me, it has a huge effect. I'm sure anyone else. Like, it's two different runs, you know. It's hard to compare having the music and not having the music. But also that's depending on your connection to the music. Because if you're not someone who's really super connected and kind of intertwined and embedded in the dopamine hit, I guess, from the songs, or the adrenaline rush you get from the songs, intertwined, embedded. What's the word I'm looking for? When you're sewed in, you're weaved in. It's weaved in. Then it may not have so much an effect on you. But for me, as soon as I put on that 50 playlist, bro, what adrenaline rush. So coming up to Big Benny around mile 7, I whacked that on. And then that was when I got into, all right, yeah, I'm in a big run here. Because then first 7 miles, they're like, they're real, but, you're not in the test period. And it's the same as for a full marathon. For me, them first 13 miles, that first half marathon, it's just part and parcel of it. It's just you're turning up for a jog. It's a big jog. But once you enter that 14th mile, you're like, okay, I'm in a marathon. Here we go. That's when when I get in the nitty gritty, the trenches, and you're down in the burrows of the soul. So I got to mile 7, that was good. Legs was feeling good. I did slow down, and when I slowed down for a second, I could feel like the legs, my glutes essentially. Mile 7 was grand, ran past Big Benny, and then this was lit, right? As I was running past Big Ben, tunes blaring, rapping a bit of I Get Money by 50. This other jogger kind of comes from out of nowhere, and he's in front of me. And I was like, oh, great, I have a pacer now. This is amazing. So I just kept pace with him. And that was great because, that's the one thing about training solo and doing the actual marathon. When you do the actual marathon, it's just a different kettle of fish. It's you do compare them. Your body obviously is putting in the work, but mentally it's just so different because you have so much stimulation. Now, stimulation won't get you across the finish line, but you do have so much external stimulation from the fact that other runners are there. You can use them to keep your pace. People cheering you on. There's tunes blaring. You got water every 5 minutes. You got water like every 15, 20 minutes or stuff. There's lots of alternative factors that contribute rather than just being on a solo dolo training, at whatever time, fucking 10 o'clock at night running in the dark with tunes blaring in your headphones. But anyways, so he just came out of nowhere, and I was like, great, a pacer, because he was a bit faster than me. And he kept my pace then for about a mile, and then we took separate paths. But then, it was so funny, we took separate paths, but then about 20 minutes onto I looked over, And sure, who was over there? But your man, the same dude, he was across the road from me. So it was so funny. That brought me down then to about mile 9 or so, coming up on 10. I don't know, it's that 15k for whatever that is in kilometers. And it was down Kenzie Main Street. And then, obviously, the Iranian people did be protesting. But there was 2 people who had a balaclava on and like a mask on, and they were shouting like really aggressively. So that kind of gave me a fright. They were by themselves and they was walking down, and that kind of gave me a fright. So I was like, whoa, Jesus, what's happening here? Obviously, just because, it's a very temperamental time, a very sensitive time in the world right now. Sending lots of love to everyone that needs it. Lots of love to everyone that needs it. Kept running down there, and then I was feeling good. Oh, sorry, one of the best parts happened. Adrenaline rushing, endorphins rushing, and this guy drives past me in like this 1970s Cadillac. I think it was a Cadillac, and had the roof off. Cadillacs have roofs off. Let's call it a Cadillac. And I just go, my man, shout at him, and he stops then. And I'm running past him like, killing it, bro, killing it. Just like buzzing. He's like, oh, thanks, man. He puts out his arms. So I run back to him. I was like, yes, man, killing it, yeah. I'm just bursting with endorphins. I'm fucking flying out. So that brings me then mile 11, then mile 12. I just had to get through that last one. And then brought me to 13.2, which was the marathon, or 13.5, whatever it is. And I did it 154. Now, 154 I wouldn't consider great. If I'm trying to get under the 4, it's just about okay. If I'm trying to get under the 4 hour. But I was actually really happy with it because I had them 3 weeks off, obviously. And it'd been 3 weeks. I hadn't done 11 miles since the 17th of March. St. Patrick's Day. I think it was St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, it was St. Patrick's Day. So I was grateful for the time, and my legs felt pretty good, and my chest was pretty good. There was one point, sorry, it was around mile 11 with the pacer, and I was feeling my breathing a little bit. I was like, man, hold on a second here. Relax, assess the scenario. This is nothing. You have this. And there was like a good 2 minutes there where my breathing did get a bit intense. But it was more of an overreaction to what was happening than the actual capabilities of my temple. Got home and was dushed. Was fucking dushed. And obviously, anyone that's ever done them big runs, you know that your body just goes into overload. And is just on fire, essentially, just because it's dealing with that amount of exercise. But slept pretty well. I just had lots of water when I came in. I had some bananas. Could have had some proper food, but honestly I was just zonked because it was late. It was like 10 o'clock. So I just zonked and I just slept. And I woke up today and, feeling relatively okay. For the most part, a few cracks and crickles. Crickles, is that a word? I don't know. But feeling relatively okay. And yeah, overall a success. I have a 15 mile next Sunday now. I'll leave that to next Sunday. I'll recover for the next 2 days. Gonna hit an old ice plunge tonight. But yeah, that was my half marathon that I randomly decided to do on a Wednesday evening. Amazing. What a gift it is. So grateful for my body. What a gift to have the capabilities to run a half marathon on a whim, eh? So special, so special. Lots of people can't walk on this earth. A lot of people can't go to the shop without getting out of breath. So to be able to do a half marathon on a whim, that's incredible. Something I'm very thankful for. Oh, me body. Thank you, body. Thank you, mind. Also, very worth noting that yesterday was a terrible day. Up until I did the run. I was just down in the dumps, man. I was just down in the dumps. I think that was the other reason sometimes when I get very down, I need to do something that kind of lifts me up, and sometimes it's rather a bit much. You're like, bro, I had a bad day, so I decided to run a half marathon. I know it's excessive. That's the word I was looking for. Excessive. I got the word. Yes, it is rather excessive. What notification am I getting there? Is it important? Who is messaging me? No, I can wait for 2 minutes. So yeah, it was a bit excessive, but you're lucky. Yeah, but like, I just had such a difficult day yesterday. I was just down in the dumps with no energy and no grip on clarity. But yeah, I decided to do a half marathon to make me feel better. I needed to do it anyways. Guys, I needed to do it. But yeah, there's a little bit for ya. Also, something happened actually. I didn't realize my arms felt a bit weird after. I have to look into what's that all about. That never happened to me before. But yeah, that's a little bit there for you. I will continue on training for May 17th. And we'll go at it awful and very hard again. And I'll continue putting in the work. And yeah, anything's possible, guys. Do not limit yourself. Do not limit yourself. You don't need, it might not be a half marathon. It might be just going for a walk every day. It might be picking up the kettlebells once a week. Whatever it is, whatever form of exercise you can do and remain consistent, that is an achievement. Don't be fooled by any of this 20 marathons, Ironmans. Don't be fooled by me doing a half marathon. What is it at the end of the day? As long as you get out and exercise, that's the most important thing. And anything after that is a bonus. The half marathons in life, these are bonuses to me. The true achievement is getting out every day for that jog. Getting out and not letting my pain, my struggles put shackles on my legs or arms. Not let it weigh me down, but instead rise up. It's not how you fall, it's how you get up. It's not how you fall, it's how you get up. It's not about when you trip, it's how you rise. Rise, that's what it's about. And don't let it get muggled or muched in the... I'm making up words, so many words today. In all the socials. Whatever you can do, that is great. And continue doing it. And anything else on top, work towards it. But consistent exercise is the achievement here, and that is the goal. To use the beautiful body and temple we've been given. We've been given it. Use it, or else you will lose it, Mr. Oceans. Can I get an amen for the sermon? Amen. Beautiful. Guys, that brings in a wrap to another episode. Oh, one step at a time, your whole social flight. One heading straight to full potential with zero delays. Don't have a good day. Have a great day. Lots of love. Love you lots, guys. Oh, forgot to give yourself a hug. Lovely. Give yourself that hug. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye-bye.